How are you guys doing, everybody out there? Thank you for joining us here for the Ravery Sports Podcast version, our Maryland 2025 Maryland basketball preview. So let's go ahead and talk Terps here as we start a basketball season here for Maryland basketball. Like and subscribe to all of our social media content. So definitely go ahead and check us out at all of our social medias. If you're watching this live, you're watching this on our YouTube page, our Twitch channel, our Kick channel now. We have our Rumble. This is going to be on all of you out there, not just YouTube, but definitely subscribe. Definitely tell anybody you know to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to all of our products and services that we have here. So we always talk about Genesis Notary Services here in Winchester. We've served more people this year, thanks to all of you out there watching, than we ever have as well. Our Harris Legal Shield. So definitely, I've been a Legal Shield rep here for the last few years. It's really near and dear to my heart, helping people with those needs as well. And also, too, Ravens and Orioles. One of the largest passions that I have as well. And also following the Terps as well. So definitely you can get all that stuff. We have a deal with Fanatics, and we're doing all this, and we're going thanks to all of you that are watching. We appreciate you. Thank you very much. You out there right now watching on the X feed or watching that's going to share the video right now. Do that. All right. This has been a Maryland offseason like we've never seen. I don't remember this as Terp fans, as whatever. So the world has changed and things are changing and all this stuff is changing around us. But in a lot of ways, the Terps and the fan base and all that has stayed the same in a lot of ways, right? We've had Gary Williams before that. You had Mark Terrajon for 10 years. So we're just thinking we're going to get Kevin Willard and he's going to be your next guy for 15, 20 years and he's going to take us to the title. Well, now in the new era that we have transfer portal and all these new changes and all this stuff is going on, it's different. And we experienced it last year after the Terps went all the way, had their best season in years. Kevin Willard goes and takes the team to the Sweet 16, and he goes off to Villanova right in the middle of the tournament. Right, this was pretty much decided right before the tournament. I think we pretty much decided right before the tournament. We had Derek Lewis on. He was very nice about how he really felt, like how us Terps fans all feel. He leaves, and we bring in the guy on the screen here. Buzz Williams is the new head coach, the Maryland Terrapins, head coach at Texas A&M. Really days after Kevin Willard went. Why did it have to go like that? Transfer portal. You didn't have the time to hire Steve Blake or Juan Dixon or whatever else and Hope and they needed somebody now to get the transfers in now, to bring players in now. When you bring a Buzz Williams in, it's turnkey and the thing, and that's what happened. Here's the good news. Buzz Williams is really easy to like. Buzz Williams is really was impressed with him during the NCAA tournament at Texas A&M. Got his team in the tournament last year. Similar track to what Maryland had as well. So very interesting to see how it does. This is a brand new group from top to bottom, from coaches to director of operations to all the players. None of the players from the Cred Five on the bench, whatever, not a one is there from last year's tournament team. None of the coaches, nothing. So we're going to go ahead and introduce you to the new group. Here for the Terps, Grant Hendricks, director of basketball operations as well. So that is a thing here. Now teams pretty much have general managers because these guys are now paid players now. It's not just that. So there's staffing, there's things like that. It's not just scholarships and all the other stuff. These guys are paid players. Buzz Williams, we just talked about him. First Coast bought a lot of his staff from Texas A&M. Devin Johnson is the first year here. Lynn Wolf as well. Steve Raccatori is their assistant coach. Westbrook Beatty, the first season as well. Also, Aki Collins. Whole new group. Most of them are from Texas A&M, where Buzz Williams came. I'm sorry. Freshman. All right. Transfer portal. these are the guys that are going to go over starting night, but this was came in. The biggest one, I think, is going to be Miles Rice. We've seen him like this. If you watched the Hoosiers last year, he scored a double-figure score from them. So he's going to come in this year and be at the point guard position as well. Salmon Washington is going to follow. Is one of these guys that followed Buzz Williams over to Maryland last year. He figures to also play a big role. Elijah Sanders from Virginia as well is come in. Pharrell Payne. Probably he's going to be your starting center. In the backcourt, you're going to have David Cole, Isaiah Watts. I think that's not right. I think it's Washington State. I think I got that wrong. I think it was Washington State. Yeah. So Washington State, Isaiah Watts there. Rasheed Passmore. I have him on the list, but he's not going to play it all this year. Colin Metcalf, also from Northeastern, should be a backup center. What went out, it almost seems redundant considering what I say. Riley Rice, Jacoby Gillespie, DHS Eric Smith. Rice goes to USC, Gillespie goes to Tennessee. Eric Smith doesn't go far, goes to George Washington. Palmer, Brandon Pierce, Taffer Gabra, Makai Palmer, bench players for the Terps, all went to Villanova. Chance Stevens goes to Minnesota, also on the bench most of last year. Derek Queen, not transfer portal, but signed with the New Orleans Pelicans of the NBA. Pretty sure he was going to the NBA after the season he had last year. What's the lineup look like? So a lot of you don't know. So here we go with the lineup. Miles Rice probably is going to start for you at point guard. He started last year at Indiana. Indiana had a coaching change there. So definitely he was out on the free agent market. So here's a guy with Big Ten experience as well. I don't think he's going to be the volume scorer that we saw last year with Rice and Gillespie. This is more of a pure point guard. A lot of hopes for Darius Adams here at the start. He's been battling, I think, with Isaiah Watts. Adams, I think if he's healthy to start, and there was an injury issue, he should start at the freshman. So he's a top four-star freshman as well. So definitely they're going to give him every opportunity. Buzz Williams is going to give him every opportunity to start. Sam Williamson, plug and play because he's certainly familiar with Buzz Williams coming over from Texas A&M as well to start the small forward. Elijah Sanders over from Virginia. This is a good piece of meat and potatoes. Pharrell Payne, hoping his offense more comes around. I think he's going to give you double figures. He's going to give you some of the things that Julian Reese gave us last year. So definitely when you have Pharrell Payne there as well. All right, so now we're ready. Got the graphic right now. Okay, so we went over the starting lineups just a second ago. Rice, Darius Adams, Solomon Washington, Elijah Sanders, Payne going to start on the bench. David Cole, grad student coming over from Kansas. Something else we're seeing in college basketball, guys playing 5 years in college ball. So grad students are now allowed first year are playing as well. Colin Metcalf from Northeastern, 6'9". He probably will be your backup center. Andre Mills, another one of the guys that followed over Buzz Williams from Texas A&M. Kansas, we've mentioned Passmore. It's not going to play this year, because of the injury as well. George Turkson from Texas A&M, another Texas A&M transfer. So that's another guy who's going to be very familiar with the system as well. Isaiah Watts certainly going to be competing, as mentioned, with Darius Adams for that starting shooting guard spot next to Miles Rice as well. Atris Olsen, Josiah Harper, and Guillermo Del Pina as well. So what's happening also to international players are coming over from different countries to play college basketball. The college players are getting paid now, millions of dollars. So instead of these guys going to Ignite or D-League or play overseas, they can play in the United States, be seen more at college basketball campuses, etc., play against American players so they can go play in the NBA actually from a college system. So that's another thing you're seeing. You're also seeing guys coming out of the D-League now, playing at colleges now, if they still have eligibility, etc. You're seeing that more and more now. Interesting how that goes. Uh, that's what it should look like. That's what the roster should look like. What's going to happen during the season? Didn't do the whole schedule, but hitting some of the high points. Obviously, night one against Coppin State. Terps should be considered the home team, even though Coppin State's a little closer. This is a thing they're doing. It's always good to see. Good to see the Terps have a relationship with the city of Baltimore. So that's why I think this may be a thing we see more and more and more. So the Eagles and the Terps are going to play night one as well. Also good, playing Georgetown early as well. We talked about DHS, Harris Smith, going to Georgetown. So he's going to get the chance to play the new look Terps right there as well. So the Terps home game. So 2 games local that they're playing early. Also on the schedule, Gonzaga, National Power. So they're Cinderella no more. I guess you could call them one of the national powers on True TV. In the players' area in Las Vegas, they're going to play 3 straight games. Gonzaga, I think, is going to be the highlight game as well. Michigan should be really good in the Big Ten this year. So Dustin May is going to go ahead and play December 13th, 8 o'clock. Well, he's not going to play. He's going to coach, right? So we're going to see that. UCLA, I mean, if the blue blood, if there ever was a blue blood in college basketball as well, January 10th, they're going to be a top 25 team. So they're going to actually play on there. December 10th. Tom Izzo's always when you have to play Tom Izzo as well. So Tom Izzo now is 31st year as Michigan coach as well. They're going to play on January 24th, February 1st against the Purdue Boilermakers. Purdue may be the best team in the whole country as well. February 1st, that's going to be a big game as well as March 8th, the finale against Illinois, who also probably has enough talent to go into the tournament. What are the storylines going to here? All right, so how is it going to look in 2025 for the Terps? 2025-2026 season. Who will replace the Crab Five in the starting lineup? We kind of already covered it. I think some fans are going to have to show patience here because as good as they were last year, you're going to have a whole new group. It did take about 7 or 8 games to really get them going. They did start DHS in the first few games. Gillespie and Rice had to work together last year. So it's going to be a bit of a process, especially early. They do have, I think, a tougher schedule early as well. So I think that's going to be interesting as well. We'll see how that goes. Darius Williamson, can he come back from injury and be freshman of the year in the Big Ten? This is your 5-star. This is your 5-star pick, top 30. This is your star freshman you need. College basketball, a lot of freshmen are now, I don't want to say struggling, but we're not seeing instant impact freshmen in a lot of places like we used to. Last year, you saw Cooper Flagg. You see some guys with impact, but it's taking a while. You see a lot of these veteran players are playing longer, so you're not seeing that as well. So can he become? He is injury as well, so we'll see how he comes back. Should be good to go pretty early in the season, though. But he did have an injury. He has missed some time, which is not good for a freshman as well. We will see how he does. He's going to have to play well for him. Who's going to be the Terps' leading scorer? My prediction is going to be Miles Rice. I think Rice is going to be your guy for sure that's going to go. It could be Isaiah Watts as well, even though I didn't have him projected as a starter. I think if he does start, he's going to score a lot. He's one of these guys that's just going to like a heat shooter, kind of like what you saw last year with Ronnie Rice. He's going to shoot a lot as well. So I think Rice, though, he's going to get the majority of the minutes. He's going to have the ball in his hand the majority of the time. I don't know how many points you're getting from inside as well. Sanders, Payne looks like they're meat and potatoes types more than they are like stud scorers. We'll see. Big guys you don't know. Sometimes they just kind of jump up and you don't realize it, but we'll see. How will the Maryland fan base react to Buzz Williams? It's going to be hard to dislike Buzz Williams. That's one less thing you got to worry about. Buzz Williams really impressed me. He openly prays with his players during games on the sideline, teaching about scripture. And Buzz Williams is very, very cool and well-liked guy. So I think Maryland fans, he's already, to me, more than Kevin Willard and Turgeon did, really out there with the fans trying to build the Van Priest. Now you have to win. Like you can't just do that. So we'll see about that. But I think the fans, if this guy is successful, there is a sense that I think as a Maryland fan, I think want him to be successful, want him to, that this is a guy that can be a good guy for us as well. Till the Terps get back to the Sweet 16, don't think so. Don't think so. I think they'll make the tournament. Um, I that's there's going to have to be a period of transition here, and it's going to be rough. I don't know if you have enough unless Adams or is really becomes like what we saw last year with Derek Queen, just right off the bat, is one of these players that's a top 5 player. It's going to be tough in the Big Ten to go ahead and get back to be at the top, but you never know like this. But the way the landscape now is, we'll see. Definitely, they're going to have a solid competitive team. I'd be very, very surprised if that wasn't Texas A&M. Pretty good. Hurts pretty good. Speaking of the Big Ten, since you brought it up, Big Ten predictions. This is kind of how I see the Big Ten going. 18 teams now in the Big Ten, even though they're still calling it the Big Ten. So this is kind of what I think here as well. So far, Purdue at the top of the food chain. This is wild. Like the Boilermakers, like in the era of the transfer portal and changing this and changing the other, and like this, they've had Brendan Smith for 4 years. They've had Fletcher Lawyer for 4 years. They've had Trey Kaufman now. So this is why they're able to be successful, because they've had a lot of these guys. A lot to like there. I think Brandon Smith, I mean, obviously some people think he's the best player in the country as well. If he's not, certainly in the Big Ten, certainly outstanding as well. So they're able to keep continuity. It's hard not to predict Purdue with their level of continuity that they have there. Michigan, Dustin May is his second, Dusty May, right? Not Dusty Road. Dusty May, his second year as the head coach of the Wolverines, replacing Juwan Howard. A lot of upheaval there. They definitely have, I think, one of the top 10 players in all of basketball, Xavier Lotborg, as well. Big, strong, 7-foot physical guy. One of these guys, the modern era basketball that can do different things. 7-footer that's going to handle the ball. That's going to shoot as well. It's going to do a lot of different things for you. So that's right there. It's going to put him in the top 10 as well. Also, Rodney Gale is still there as a guard, 2 years of the transfer portal from Ohio State. I think they're going to have to. I think probably, though, I don't think they're good enough to really beat Purdue yet as well. Illinois always seem to have injuries. The Fighting Illini. It's kind of weird with them. Ninth year for Brett Underwood. Lots of pressure defense as well on them as well. Kalen Boswell, I think, is back as a transfer for them. Also, Andre Stanjakovic. Oh, hopefully I'm saying that right again. International players coming in. So both they're going to score, I think, as well. It's going to matter. I think he's been injured. So if they have him more than they don't have him, I think that's going to give them a big advantage at center. I'm going to put them at third. Oregon, I kind of looked at it a couple times. I'm going to put them fourth as well. I really love Jackson Shelstad from great volume scorer. I said it last year. He kind of reminds me of Rex Chapman the way he plays. A guy who could put the ball on the floor but can really shoot. Really is not afraid to shoot from 7 foot. Nate Beatty's been there for a couple years, 7-footer. He might have played his way into a pro career. We'll see as well. But he's scoring 20 points a game, so I think Oregon's right there. I think Oregon. Some people don't. They kind of get overlooked in basketball, I think. But I think Oregon is really good. UCLA, number 5. I think Mick Cronin needs to show something this year. I think it's a little bit of still UCLA. They did get, I thought it was fascinating getting Xavier Booker away from Tom Izzo as well. So he's going to obviously play more as well. Donovan Dent is their big transfer from New Mexico. So he scored 20 points a game. You're seeing this now. Guys, mid-major guys, they leave, right? They go get more money. UCLA went ahead and paid them. But I think there's a little bit of pressure on UCLA, but I do think they're up to the challenge. So I think I like UCLA number 5 as well. It's easy always to overrate a Tom Izzo team because it's Tom Izzo. Tom Izzo is a great coach. He's been literally at Michigan State. I already mentioned 31 years as head coach. He's been assistant coach, I think 11 before that. So he's been there 40 years as assistant or head coach. Won a national championship. We know what his team's going to look like. They're going to play pressure defense. They're going to score a lot of points. A lot of their guards are going to score a lot. I think we can overrate them. I do think they are going to miss some of their guys from last year as well. Trey Ford is going to come in, and I think he's got to improve defensively. There's a question there. He's going to get the best chance to replace Jace Richardson. Corin Carr and Jamis Fears are back as well, so that's going to help. Another team, again, they're able to maintain continuity. I think that's interesting. Wisconsin is usually pretty good as well. I have them around 7. The Badgers, great guards team. I think they're. This is going to be, I think, more a usual Wisconsin group that we're expecting. John Blackwell is going to be probably their main guy as far as scoring it. But expect a lot of defense, a lot of hard-nosed play. This is, to me, this season, there's going to be more, from what I'm seeing here so far, more of what we're seeing normally from Wisconsin. I think they're at 7. Some people have Ohio State a little bit higher. I don't have a huge problem with that, obviously, because Bruce Thornton is there. He's going to clearly, if I don't think the best player in the Big Ten is Brendan Smith, it could be Bruce Thornton. Definitely he's going to have the ball in his hands, and he's absolutely a guy that can go ahead and get that squared away and score a lot of points. He probably, I would think, if I was to bet on it, he's going to be your leading scorer in the Big Ten this year. He's going to get 20 plus as well. That'll be interesting. They got to get better defense. They got to get more physical, though. They got to get more physical. Ohio State, they seem to lack a little bit of physicality to me. Maryland smack dab in the middle at number 9. Frankly, because I don't know what to expect in a lot of ways. Buzz Williams is there. They have the 5-star freshmen. They have a good freshman group. They have a good, decent players. I see a lot of decent and competent. I don't know if I see a team that's, elite teams, with Purdue, Michigan, et cetera, with 5-star. So it'll be interesting to see. I think they're really going to need Adams and Rice to really do that. But smack dab in the middle. Number 10, Iowa. So Iowa this year with a new coach. Ben McCallum is taking over from Drake. He brought like 6 players with him from Drake. Bennett Sturts is probably their guy. So he was their best player last year on Drake. He's coming over as well. So this is a new era now in Iowa. So it'll be interesting to see what the Hawkeyes look like as well with a new coach. Hoosier hysteria. Yeah. They couldn't wait to get rid of Mike Woodson in Indiana last year. They couldn't wait to get rid of him. So you bring in Darren DeVries, who's over from West Virginia, for those who don't know. So fast-paced perimeter defense, ball movement. I could say this. If they're not getting anything else, they're going to get more of what they're used to in terms of a Hoosier-like team. I think part of the problem with Mike Woodson there the years before, it didn't look like what they're used to. This team's going to move the ball. They're going to be more disciplined. They're going to have that's going to be the emphasis there. So they're going to have the son, Tucker DeVries, there, who's also at West Virginia with him. Also, 2 Sun Belt Conference Player of the Year, Tate McGraw is also there. So they're interesting to see how that goes. Indiana, I don't know if they're ready yet, but I think they're definitely going in the right direction. Chris Collins is Northwestern Wildcats in this spot as well. So again, this year, like previous years, they had Bowie. Nick Bartelli kind of broke out last year with 20.5. Again, the roster isn't enough. They have one really good offensive player of emphasis, but they're still a little bit below. I think a lot of these teams, as far as that goes. Collins, I will say this: they're going to fight hard in a lot of these games. They're like, there's no such thing, I guess, as moral victory, but they kind of look good in losses. They really scrap and fight hard. So, lots of like with Northwestern. Rutgers, not much ballyhoo like it is last year. Last year they had the two early draft picks, Ace Bailey and Dylan Harper going in. So they brought in this year Howard Zuno, highly regarded sharpshooter from Bosnia. So on one of these international players, he's going to shoot. I'm really impressed with him off the dribble, well, kind of like guy from Oregon Hallstead, like Shelstad, like really good shooter as well. So, but they're still, I think, at the bottom, like towards the bottom as well this year. Even last year, not as well. I don't think they have any offense up front. I think that's probably the biggest issue. Probably the biggest issue that they have. Couple more. Nebraska Cornhuskers. So football school, obviously, as well. They do have Hoiberg there as the coach. The mayor, Fred Hoiberg, as well as his son, is actually going to be playing point guard for them. He is going to play significant minutes. Let me tell you, there's a lot of this now in sports. A lot of this nepotism. I look at a lot of these rosters, and a lot of these coaches have a son playing. Talked about it, you know. I don't know about this one as far as that. We'll see as well. But the big acquisition that they have is Bryce Sanford coming from Iowa at point guard. So that's going to be, I think, going to be their leading scorer as well. I don't think they're going to be quick enough to actually win games as well. USC, the Trojans is going to be the school of the famous movie Love and Basketball. Every time I can't think about Love Basketball. Great movie that was. Eric Musselman is an old school former pro coach as well, and he's going to have two really good players on that team. I can tell you, Rodney Rice, one of your Crab Five, is a transfer from Maryland to USC, and Chad Baker Mazzara, I think, from Auburn. So these are two guys that are really, really solid as well. I think USC might surprise them. I don't think there's a lot else there, and I don't love Musselman as a coach, but I think they have at least that. They have two guys at least that are going to get you some points, but they're not going to have to figure that out at least as well. Penn State, it won't be James Franklin as the coach. It is going to be Mike Rhodes, his second season as well. So he's going to need his two freshmen, Caden Mingo. He's going to be a 4-star. They brought in Nilik Tuka from Turkish guard. So that's about all he's got, right, in terms of offense as well. It'll be interesting there, see if they can finally turn things around. Certainly you got a new football coach. I know that as well. Nico Medvedev is going to be his first season from Colorado State, from Minnesota. He's got a pretty good recruiting class he started. So he's doing now these two smaller schools. He's got Langston Reynolds, and Chelsea Willis, one from Northern Colorado, one from Western Michigan. See how they go. You see, this seems to be working out in a lot of cases. So these guys go to these majors, they light it up, and now they go to a bigger school and they go get more money as well. Not sure what we are getting from them as well. They could be, and this is another one, I think they could be better than what we think as well. But I don't think that they're not going to, they don't have any, again, no offensive front here. Their guards are pretty good, maybe as well. The Washington Huskies at the bottom, the main reason for them, even though they have good players, is they have Desmond Claude, Zoom Dallo, and Jacob Ovanevic. I don't know how much they're going to play. So you have some decent players, but a lot of these guys have injuries. Some may miss the whole season they're talking about. So I am not sure how well they do going forward. So without those players, it'll be interesting to see. There you go. All right. So we're ready for a Terps season. Thank you guys for joining us here on a Ravery Sports podcast as well. Interesting to see how this does. I'm really intrigued to see how the fans react, how everyone reacts to just a what's going to be a whole new era, a whole new group here. So this is going to be the 2025-2026 season. Regardless of the outcome, is going to be fascinating. It's going to be fascinating on a lot of things because there's so much change. It really does feel like we're in a new era of Maryland basketball. Not just the coach, but embracing the modern era of transfer portal. All of that is new. So we're excited and we can't get ready. November 3rd, definitely, if you got time, go down to the arena and check out the Terps and the Eagles as well. So definitely go ahead. And I think I have that. You want to know why? Because I have to pay for it. Your part is paid. There you go. Terps and the Eagles right there. So definitely check it out as well. Thank you guys for joining us here on the Ravery Sports Podcast. Enjoy the rest of your day.